Okay, we're preparing to stream live here on Facebook. And I'm just a few clicks away and so excited to share Mindful Monday with all of you. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, actually, because we're past noon. My name is Camila. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk with Camila. I took Friday off. My apologies for being absent. My kids had a PA day, so I decided to spend the day with them and not do any work. So that was a lot of fun. So today, Mondays, I always reserve for talking about mindfulness. And for those of you that have not, are joining us for the first time, Mondays, that's the topic that I like to do. And I know many of you have heard about mindfulness, but very few people know what it is, let alone how to apply it to your daily life. So, let me give you an example. Have you ever gotten into a car and driven to a particular destination, arrived, and then you don't even remember the drive? Well, that used to be me. And that's what we call being absent-minded. It's the opposite of mindfulness. So essentially, being mindful is about paying attention to whatever it is that you're doing or thinking or feeling in any particular moment. And mastering this is about doing it without judgment, being detached from any kind of emotion or sensation to a particular event. It's like watching yourself do something as if you're in a movie, like you're the observer. And if you're an observer, then you're able to gain perspective without being caught up in the moment. When I first started practicing mindfulness, I found it quite difficult, actually. I would, for example, look at leaves on a tree, and then I would pass judgment on that. And I would say to myself, oh my gosh, I'm looking at leaves on a tree. And what if somebody passes by and they think I'm crazy or something? So I would do the mindful activity and then pass judgment on the mindful activity. But I continued on this journey because I knew the science was quite strong in terms of the brain changes that occurred when people practice mindful meditation. So, the long-term effects, I can say, is that it allowed me to gain control over my conscious mind and significantly reduce the amount of stress that I felt. And this is exactly what the research shows. Now, I continued on this journey because I knew the science was just strong. And it's important to know that the research shows that it's possible to live in the present moment without being caught up in the memories of the past or the concerns of the future, which we already know is about depression and anxiety. And Dr. Sarah Lazar is a prominent psychologist in this field. And there were two particular studies, very important. One was in 2009, the other was in 2011. And they showed that those who took an 8-week mindful meditation course actually had structural changes occur in their brains. The hippocampus region of the brain was enlarged, and this is the area of the brain that we use for learning, memory, and emotion. So we can say that mindful meditation repairs the damage that's caused by stress, and it can make us more resilient to future stress. Now, there's new research, relatively new, that shows that it can also help reduce chronic pain and fatigue. And that's also pretty important because there's many of us that are suffering from that as well. Now, we also know that chronic stress weakens our immune system and makes us more susceptible to illnesses and infection. And this research is fairly new, and new studies obviously need to take place. But there was a study done in 2012 where they took a small group of people, about 154, and they found that those who practiced mindfulness had fewer colds, and those that did get sick, their symptoms were quite less severe than the control group. So, given that we are in a time of COVID where everyone is concerned about, obviously, viruses that are out there, and we're also in flu season, I want you to know that you can do something. You have control over the situation in terms of what's happening. So obviously, mindfulness is not the only way to reduce stress. There's other ways like cognitive behavioral therapy or exercise or having strong social connections. But mindfulness is the only one that has shown to actually reverse the effects of stress. So it begs the question, how much mindfulness meditation do I have to do to be able to benefit from these effects? So here's the deal. It's literally 5 to 10 minutes a day, every day or every other day. But the trick is you have to be consistent at it. Now, some of my clients, they'll do it and they'll come back and they'll say, but Camila, I tried and it doesn't work. Well, here's the deal. It's important for you to know that this is not a miracle cure. It's a lifestyle change like exercise or eating healthy. So the benefits last as long as you continue practicing it. Now, in the early days when I was doing it, I would think, oh my gosh, this is going to be like a death sentence if I have to do this, every single day, because I actually didn't enjoy it. But something miraculous happens along the way in this journey. Your mind will start to crave the changes. And you'll want to continue practicing mindfulness because it feels so good. So there you have it. Mindfulness for me, I'm going to just stand behind it. For anybody who wants to learn how to practice it or find out more about it, feel free to connect with me. Let's talk with Camila.ca. Join me in my Facebook group. Tell your family and friends about it. I would love to continue sharing more information with you. So happy Mindful Monday. Let's get to practicing. Enjoy the day. Take care. Bye-bye.